whether it's in the private sector, it's in the government. You want an ID in 2 days, it's supposed to be 2 weeks, you have to pay for it. And we've accepted it, so it's a way of life. From very little things, very minor things, like at times you feel like you don't, after you've bribed someone, you feel like I didn't need to do it.
Yeah.
Because maybe I'd wait for 2 weeks. It's not going to hurt me if I wait for 2 weeks. But you feel like, even the guy, before he even says hi to you, he's like, hey, na unajua umekuja masaa ya lunch. And you're like, okay, what was your plan for lunch before I showed up? That was not your plans, man. Fuck your lunch. What your lunch plan, man?
So bureaucracy has led people to, human nature, to become who you are. You have to find another way to fend for yourself. And if taking a bribe, giving a bribe, or doing something that's not okay in terms of corruption is the only way you can get money to finance your shit, your stuff, then yeah, you go for it. You have to do what you have to do.
What is it about Kenya specifically that drives corruption? Because these things are global.
In terms of Africa, there's a real disparity. There's the rich, and then there's the poor. There's no margins. Yeah. In workplaces, young people find it very hard to penetrate because they're not being given the chance to. So you might not bribe in terms of money, you might give your body so that you go to the top. So corruption comes in all sorts of levels, and I feel like once someone has power, they feel like they're a god. They own you. And there's nothing worse when you become dependent on money, where you feel, for me to progress, I need to have this type of money, or I need to know so and so. And that's the culture as well here. Like, I have the credibilities, I have the qualifications, but yeah, I have to
still
bribe my way to the top.
Yeah.
As much as we have so much corruption in Kenya, things are still happening. Yeah.
How much more could be happening?
Could be happening if we didn't lose that money.
Yeah.
Things are still happening to the effect that this trickle-down effect.
There was a thing I was reading a couple months ago from the Auditor General who said that we can only account for 10% of public spending. So we budget, 90% goes. So my thing is, yes, things are still happening. That's the culture that we buy into. But actually things are still happening. How much more could actually be happening?
I feel here, the law is just, I don't know, it's an outfit. Doesn't mean that it's gonna keep you warm.
I like that analogy.
Yeah? Yeah. In UK, people respect the law more than they even respect God. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. Say for instance, I've been caught drinking driving here. The law says here that I will either spend the night in jail, I'll have to pay a fine. But I can bribe myself out of going to jail. It doesn't affect my license. Right, in UK, I get caught drinking driving, 6 months to 2 year ban, straight up. Yeah. If I lose my license, that affects my life. Yeah. So the risks are greater, and they will make you examples. Here, they don't make people examples, and they don't publicize the examples because that person has probably paid their way out of the situation. So there's no examples to have. So we don't respect the law. We have loopholes against the law, and I think I'm not saying that we should make the law God or something, but it should be so strong that I have fear. I have fear, and that's what happens in UK. You fear the law.
For us, corruption is like entertainment. It's like, hey, you have tickets to front row seat. You've had it how much? 600 billion. Oh, snap! If the newspaper replaced billions or millions with zeros, our paper would look so different. It would be having numbers, columns and columns of numbers.
You're a good point, because I also feel like the media is part of the problem in this country and in terms of corruption.
Sensationalization of corruption is such a big story. If the breaking story about corruption, everyone will be like, what? Ningapi?
How many shots Zico?
There's also probably someone who's been corrupted to point out a particular story because that one has a different agenda.
There's an agenda being pushed.
But anyway, what's the solution for you?
I think just make examples of people and publicize those examples and publicize the same example over and over again. Try even us within ourselves, be conscious of your decisions. Like in terms of, yes, we're talking about bribing. Do you bribe? Is it necessary?
Right.
Can't you just wait? Can't you be the person that is going to be the one that effects change? if it's a chain reaction. So if one starts, hopefully it's like a domino effect.
Yeah.
It'll all trickle down.
As Kenyans, we're not that interested in holding people accountable.
Yeah.
Well, we'll sit here and we'll talk about like how many billions have been stolen, but what are we actually doing? Yeah, because like I think of just living in the U.S. and how like any small thing could provoke people, and we're gonna have a giant protest and a giant march. Like even the doctors' strike, the people who are showing up for those like marches were just the doctors and maybe like 15 other people in the media.
The media.
But the rest of us were sitting here also concerned, also this, but where are we demanding
Twitter fingers.
Tweeting.
So we need to actually engage with the system and realize that we have a role in it. It's not just those people. They're like, we ourselves have a role in demanding change and demanding accountability and asking for things to happen.
I feel like corruption comes off the back of so many things. Tied on tribalism, nepotism, cronism, because you always have.
Zims.
Don't finish all the English.
Save somebody Yeah, it's tied off a lot of things, and I feel like the grandest of corruption and scandals and whatever happens, I feel like there's protection. You feel like you cannot just go out there and decide you're going to get away with 600 million. Who's your father? Like point me to your mother. Like I need to know. And then who do you like who are you? Like tell us. You feel like people are too like brazen about it.
Yeah.
You're
they do it to the
confident.
open.
Yeah, and then especially now about social media and everything. You see people. This guy has stolen from you. He's posted it, and probably someone. There's such a meteoric rise in his not even his career, like the amount of shows he has. You're like, what am I doing wrong with my life?
Yeah.
And people are just stealing, and then these guys have become the heroes.
Yeah.
And the solution to it, like Lash was saying, make an example of people first of all. If it's about you decide like we're going to take a standpoint on corruption, shooting range. If you've stolen more than 10 Gs, you get shot. If you've taken no, that's a bit too radical and everything. But you see that like having that deterrence, like that fear, having people having that fear, like if you steal, like you're going to go.
These are the consequences.
On that topic, the mob justice thing, like if people treated this guy like the way mob justice people treat that guy who stole a handbag.
Is this stolen handbag?
But see, that's the same thing I was saying. You see, that consequence of I know if I do, like Lash was saying, if I do X, the consequence is great. Who are the people who are going to make those enact those laws? It's our same corrupt parliament. You think they're gonna say for stealing 10K, you're entering committee for 20 years? It'll never happen. So
when they say 10K, they'll still do it.
never, but
It's not happening.
It's hard. You can. It's hard to beat the system.
So you join it?
No, and the only way to do it is now we have elections in a couple of months.
Yeah.
Change what we have.
Let's start afresh. Yeah.
Anyway.
Clean slate.
Big bang.
Yeah.
But we wish the best for this country of ours.
The best.
And everyone,
the best.
vote, stay woke and vote.
Yeah.
Vote.
Yeah. I think it's important
I'm
to
running
vote.
for
I was thinking about MCA.
my mother ran, my father ran. Now we run. Now we run. Beyonce ran the world.
No to corruption.
No to corruption.